I'm Georg Neuman. I work at the Open Contracting Partnership, and I work in communications, advocacy, community engagement, data, and all of that together. My session today was about identifying use cases for open contracting data, sort of to really find the best ways of using this contracting data and connecting it to real-life examples and connecting it to impact on the ground, sort of that matter to citizens. Well, you'd be surprised that contracts aren't actually that well managed. Even within governments, for example, there are up to 5, 6, 7 different e-procurement systems. So if a government has a strong incentive of identifying and collecting all those under like one standard that helps them to analyze the information better, get better prices, make sure they get their supply chain better, etc. And then on the other side, open contracting is not only about the contract in itself, it's about the whole process starting from the planning of the contract towards the implementation and ensuring that feedback loops are integrated into the process as well. There are differences and there are options to customizing the standard, but we have done in developing the standard a global outreach to the community and made sure to capture most of these differences already within the standard in itself. So the standard are about 170, 180 different describers, and they actually do that quite well. So we have implementations in the Ukraine, in Paraguay, in Mexico City, in Montreal, and all of these use the same standard. So it is possible, and it's actually quite good. It's interesting because the tool, I believe, manages to do both the back-end and the technical elements, as well as sort of the idea of combining all information around one contract sort of ID, which allows you then to produce a lot of tools with it. So that is our idea, to be able to both have one descriptor that sort of goes deep into the details, but also to have tools that then connect this information with other information. I think there's two issues to it. It's actually a lot of the business do want this information, because it's the lucrative business to do business with governments, and they want information about past contracts to identify opportunities for them to bid for contracts. They want information about past pricings to adjust their proposals well and gain a new contract. So, for example, in the US, there's been a lot of studies around freedom of information requests for these kinds of contracts, and business were the strongest users. There are actually firms that pay for doing freedom of information requests to get this kind of information. So there's a huge need for this information. And the issue of, for example, commercial confidentiality is not one that is as strong as one might think when it comes to most of the contracts. There are sectors where it's more of an issue, but overall, business is actually one of the biggest users of the data. I'm very excited about overall the community and getting in touch with a lot of people that work on implementing data into creative platforms, and especially, I mean, my session is part of the journalism pathway, and I'm quite excited about all those different ideas that are coming up there. And I mean, from a personal interest, I'm completely excited about this makers section, which is just really fun and very creative. So I don't know, I've been the first time for me at the Mozfest, and it's been really exciting so far.